Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to dive into the fourth finger vibrato. Everybody knows that fourth finger is the most difficult to play vibrato with, and many people are avoiding it by playing with the third finger or just making different changes in the positions, so they avoid playing with the fourth finger as much as possible. But why not become more strong and comfortable playing with the fourth finger? So this is how, and I'm going to give you 6 exercises to work on to improve your fourth finger vibrato. So the first exercise is to try to mimic the third finger or another finger that you feel comfortable playing with. And listen to the sound you're producing when you play with this finger. For example, I'm going to put down the third finger and then I'm going to replace it with the fourth and try to find the same sound. And of course, the third finger is producing more juicy, more round sound. So you have to listen a lot to mimic the same sound and to understand what is the movement you need to do to achieve the same sound. Exercise number 2 is to put the third finger together with the fourth and vibrate together. That helps sometimes to get to the same sound as you are playing only with the third finger. So first you can put the fourth finger only. Then I'm placing the third finger just next to it, very light. I can trick myself to think that I am playing with the third, and then when I found this sound that I like, I can lift up my third finger and just leave the fourth one. So together. And now I'm lifting it. So this exercise goes a little bit together with the first one, that you auditory train your finger to mimic the third finger. Third tip is to use your fourth finger as much as possible. I'm training that on lyrical pieces of music that I just exchange the fingers, so I'm trying to play the fourth finger instead of the third many times. Cannot find a piece that fits you, you can also try to play a scale. Thirds. And I like to practice it very slowly so I can feel the impulse of my hand and also feel the tip of my finger. As I said in the beginning of the video, it's very important that you feel free in the joint. Fourth tip is the shape of your finger and the angle of your hand. So if I'm putting my pinky very round, that will produce one kind of vibrato. Some people are putting it more flat, like me. But the most important is that your pinky is bent, so you don't play with a flat finger. It's almost impossible, and also create a lot of tension in your wrist, so avoid to play with a flat finger. For me, I'm putting the finger quite flat but curved at the last joint. And the shape of my hand, I prefer to have it quite straight. I've seen great violinists also playing with a little bit of bent wrist like this. Then they are, maybe the vibrato is becoming a little bit slower, more heavy. I personally have very difficult to play with the wrist like this, so for me the straight wrist is allowing me to play a little bit with more arm, which is making the amplitude of my vibrato a little bit bigger, and that helps me to create nicer sound for me. Some people prefer to have the hand quite low, like this, or a little bit higher. So that can also create a different vibrato, and you can try which works best for you. For me, I prefer to have it a little bit higher, because then I can bend the pinky a little bit easier. Otherwise it's becoming quite flat, and I feel that I am losing control. So you can experiment on this angle of the hand. My fifth tip is be aware of the tilt of your elbow. And this is not only about vibrato, but with all our playing on the violin. Naturally you will be neutral, maybe neutral on the string, and as you go to A, D and G, you will tilt your elbow more in. And for me that really changed my vibrato as well. So for me it helps if I actually tilt it more in, even on E string, because then I'm getting more of the flesh on my finger, on the fingerboard, and that makes the sound a little bit bigger. My final tip, number 6, is to train your agility, dexterity and the strength of your hand. And that you can do by playing etudes by Kreutzer or Shevchik, Dionys. What is important is that you train the muscle of your hand, and that you train the articulation of your fingers. So it needs to be from the base joint, this movement, and not just this movement. It needs to be from the main joints. This is creating more articulation of your fingers, not only in vibrato, but also in other cases. That was all for today. I hope you are enjoying my videos about vibrato. That was the 4th part, and I still haven't decided if I'm going to make more vibrato tips, or maybe that's my final. So please let me know if you want me to make more about vibrato, and ask me questions so that I can prepare this new vibrato video